Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We'll continue our discussion. This is some nice instructions that are coming here from Maitreya to Vidura. We'll just do a small recap and then we'll continue. We start from, so Vidura is telling that my dear King Anga was very gentle. He had a high character and was a saintly personality and lover of Brahminical culture. How is that such a great soul got a bad son like Venu, because of whom he became indifferent to his kingdom and left it? So the important question is that, uh, of course, we can say it's karma, but generally the person who is very saint, a good king, will get good sons. Good progeny is also considered one of the blessings. And if we have a wrong progeny, it is as good as very severe punishment. Of course, Anga has a different realization. We'll see that. But Prabhupada writes here that one has to leave home in extreme cases. Wife is unchaste, mother is unchaste, wife is beautiful, son is a rascal, leave, father is in debt, you should leave home. So therefore, according to Vedic culture, one has to leave, take leave of his family members just after his 50th year, so that the balance of his life may be completely devoted in search of Krishna consciousness. The advantage of early marriage, why the boys are married 22, 23, 25 you marry, and then you have 25 years to take care of the family life. By the time all the pleasures and all these things that are completely gone, you will no more feel that excitement in family life, and then it is easy for him to live. And next is then, how is that great sages who are completely conversant with religious principle desire to curse Vena, who himself carried the rod of punishment? So we were discussing here that there is always somebody above us in Vedic culture. That's how we can be nicely trained. Everybody has somebody above, and then they used to follow. Like we see this strict principle in Mahabharata and Ramayana also. Whatever Yudhishthir did, said, all other remaining four brothers have to follow. There is no option only for them. Bhima used to become very, very upset many times, but he didn't have option. He used to express his resentment. Even Arjuna also sometimes, maybe Nakla they also. But they never said, we'll not do it. No, you, you go on your way, I am going. No, just follow. And that's how a person becomes happy. And that's actually that the higher level of dharma makes them more happy. That's not just some sense gratification. Oh, if I follow, what about my sense gratification? Because people valued something else. And here, that's why Vidra was surprised. How is that no king? He should be always respected and valued, and he is killed by Brahmanas. Brahmanas supposed to protect him. So how is this happened? So it's something very serious. And next thing he continues, it's the duty of all citizens in the state never to insult the king, even though he sometimes appears to have done something sinful. So because of his powers, the king is always more influential. So king is never insulted because he is doing a important job. He is giving the protection. So he cannot be insulted. Sometimes he may succumb to some lower mode. So then he should be forgiven. And people should not keep grudges on him, and they should not have that negativity too. They said, okay, he is doing something good for the state. So let him continue. And because he's representing the Supreme Lord. Now, why is such person is cursed? So that was the question. And then he says that we want to know the activities, and then comes the our answer for him. So the Maitreya says that King Vidura once King Anga was performing great sacrifice, no Ashwamedha, and they invited demigods, but nobody came. This is the Vedic sacrifice is a very important science, and they want that they want to why sacrifice is why they need demigods for what sacrifice is actually done to express gratitude to demigods and ultimately gratitude to Vishnu only Yajño vai Vishnu. Basically sacrifice means what sacrifices I am grateful, like I am giving up my pleasure to give pleasure to somebody else, then only it is sacrifice, right? Like say I'm going I have 100 rupees and then I purchase some food item. I want to eat everything, but I see some beggar, then I sacrifice some of the quantity of my food and give it to him. And you have purchased say some four bread pieces, and I am giving two to the beggar, that means I sacrificed. What did I sacrifice? I sacrificed my enjoyment. So here also the king is sacrificing, or any person who is getting, he is sacrificing. But whom he is he giving? He is giving to the devatas and the supreme lord. Krishna is telling that I have given this system of yajna. What is this yajna? You try to develop a mutual respect for the demigods because they are providing. I am making them in charge. So I am giving to them, and then in return they will supply all the necessities for you. And then you just express gratitude and say thank you ultimately to supreme lord. And like say uh, a boy is there, is going to school going boy is there, and the mother is doing everything for the school going boy. What does mother expect? Because the boy cannot do anything in return much because he's small, but mother expects that he acknowledge at least I am doing something for this fellow. So same thing with the demigod. They just we have to acknowledge that we are getting so much from the demigods, sun, moon, light, and fire, and everything, food, grains, rain. But now for us, we cannot do all these things, acknowledgement and all. We acknowledge by chanting Hare Krishna. But we are still grateful to Supreme Lord, and we are grateful to demigods also because they are the agents. We should be grateful to them also. And but we are not devoted to them. See, expressing gratitude and being devoted, there is a difference. When they are there, thankful and grateful. But ultimately, I am with Krishna only. Like say, if a neighbor comes to your the house and he gives some gifts to the child, mother tells, "No, my dear son, tell thank you to auntie, uncle," and the child will say thank you. So he is grateful. But he is with parents only. He will not go to the neighbor's house to be with the neighbor. No. Same thing for us. And demigods they are giving, we can thank sun, moon. It's good actually to be grateful to all these personalities. But ultimately we are with our original Father Krishna. We don't jump the parties. So that should be clear. Right. So here demigods, so the kings are giving showing this by example that no, we need to acknowledge what we are getting. And that's actually the culture of respect, culture of gratitude, which makes a person happy even in this material world also. He can be elevated to heavenly planets, he can enjoy there. So basically what demigods do, then they are enjoying, they know that it is given by the supreme lord, so they acknowledge and then they rule and they enjoy. So lord says okay, that's all. They don't, they just, why they are called devotees, demigods are also called devotees of Lord Vishnu, because they are able to recognize him, acknowledge whatever he is giving, and they express their gratitude. That's all. Basic minimum devotees they can be. Some may be more elevated, but some are like that much only. Okay, thank you, Lord, you are giving, and I am very grateful to it. That's all. So then, so here also that's a way to be elevated higher and higher. And the highest elevation is to go out of this material world. That is also why this only gratitude and humility. We acknowledge the Supreme Lord knowing everything. The Lord says, okay, you are not for material world. So anyway, the point here is that demigods are the Vedic sacrifice is to please the demigods he is doing, but they were not coming only. Prabhupada says, okay, in Kali Yuga it is not practical to Sankirtan again. So Prabhupada is very clear about it. It's an easy task. Chant Hare Krishna. But see, it is not that okay, I got a shortcut and now I do whatever. No, it's not like that. We should be more grateful than even Karma Kandi people also. Then only it will work. So, despite all efforts, the demigods did not accept. And then this says that we know that the paraphernalia is pure and collected with great faith and care, not polluted. So, so well collected with great faith and care, and also it's not polluted. Then only we can sacrifice. So now our ingredients for chanting Hare Krishna are what then? We should also have great faith. We should also have care, and it should not be polluted. How it is polluted? When our mind uh, is engaged in sense gratification, it pollutes. So for chanting also, all the three things are there: faith, care, not polluted, right? So we should chant with great faith, we should attention and not polluted means we should make sure that we don't do much sense gratification, which will pollute our quality of chanting, like that. And then this says that, dear king, we do not find any reason the demigod should feel insulted or neglected in any way, but still the demigods are who are witnesses of the sacrifice do not accept their share. We do not know what is the reason. So here also that we should maintain that purity. And Prabhupada is writing that in the purport. Radha Krishna deity will not accept offering from such non-devotees. Devotees engaged in temple worship should not therefore manufacture their own methods, but should strictly follow the regulatory principles of cleanliness, and then offerings will be accepted. Actually, we commit everyday offenses to deities. It is good that we what do you say, ask forgiveness every day. It is safe. And then Maitreya explained that Anga, after hearing the statement of the priest, was greatly aggrieved. At the time, he took permission from the priest to break his silence and inquired from all the priests who were present in the sacrificial area. So Anga is now asking, King, I address the priestly order. Tell me what offenses I have committed. So we have discussed this point also. Of course, we have discussed that maintain silence when sacrifice. That means no prajalpa. So for us also, while chanting, there should not be any prajalpa. We should also only focus. And then he says, I didn't commit offense. And for Vedic sacrifice, demigod should accept the sacrificial offerings. Then only the sacrifice is complete. So although invited demigods are not neither taking part in the sacrifice nor accepting their share. So they are not coming also, not taking also. Both they are doing. So King Vena was very unhappy because of it. Previously, the demigods used to come and stand there and take them and go. Nowadays, we don't see anybody coming, taking and going. So people are quite very happy after doing yajna. They are not even bothered whether somebody is accepting or not. They only know that we have performed it, and and then that's all. We and people are interested to somebody with name and fame, somebody for the what do you call some winning of some elections or some property or some business. Somebody will have. So there are multiple reasons people do yajnas, but nobody is bothered whether the yajna is successful and uh, for whom it is intended, whether that person is accepting or not. No, 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 no. Nobody is interested here. They don't. We cannot see demigods anyway. So it's easy for us compared to Veda, because that time demigods are seen. They used to come and go. Now the nobody comes, nobody goes. So it's quite difficult to tell whether our yajna is satisfied or not. But when chanting is satisfied in our holy name, when we are chanting the holy name, Lord is satisfied. Lord is satisfied. Then what happens? How do we know that Lord is satisfied with my chanting? So our heart is cleansed. So uh, this is the proof like that it happens. But in other cases we don't. The priest said, "O king, in this life you did not do any sinful, even within your mind also. So you are not in least offensive, but we can see that in previous life you performed sinful activities. So in spite of your having all qualification, you have no son. So this is the reason. They said, oh, this person is a sinful in last life. I don't want to go to him. This happens in the material world also. If somebody went to prison and came, nobody want to be with his friend anymore. Say, oh, he has a very bad background. So demigods also they are not bothered about this life. They are bothered about they are bothered this life, but they are bothered about previous lives also. So the purpose of marriage is to beget children. And Prabhupada writes that it is concluded therefore that if a person does not get a son, it is due to his past sinful life. And then King, O King, we wish all good fortune on you. You have no son. But if you pray to Supreme Lord, ask for son, and if you execute the sacrifice for that purpose, the enjoyer of sacrifice, the Supreme Lord will fulfill your desires. I said you can change your karma by taking shelter of Krishna. So that is the advice they give. And then said when Hari, the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifice, is invited to fulfill your desires for the sun, all the demigods will come with him and take their share in the sacrifice. It is very interesting because Lord does not see what is your previous life, this life, but demigods they see. They cannot associate with somebody who is like this. The king Angai committed sinful activity in previous life also. Demigods are not willing to see. But when it comes to Supreme Lord, Lord is ready to accept anyone. This proves that Lord is the Father. So the example is given of Vasudeva Datta. When Vasudeva Vipra, he was completely filled with his body, infected with what do you say? Uh, this disease, what do you call the disease? Leprosy. And so many insects were there falling from his body, is coming and picking them and keep on the body again. When a Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, immediately embraces him tightly. And then he says, this was the leper, he says that, my dear Lord, this proves that you are the Supreme Lord. Nobody can embrace me, not even my mother, the most beloved people around me, whoever you have, nobody can embrace a leper. We have leprosy colony. Every city has some leprosy colonies. So I used to go sometimes to feed uh, prasadam for them. And no, whole colony is kept aside because nobody want them to be in the regular part of the society. They have separate colonies for them. Now nobody can impress. So it proves that you are the Supreme Lord. That is the reason, I guess. So nobody want to associate with them. And here we see that demigods also not interested to associate if you are sinful. But Supreme Lord does not mind. No problem. You are sinful also, no problem. You come to me, I will purify you. When Lord Ram, he is taking monkeys as his associates, followers, and army. It's such a very embarrassing situations. You have a monkey around you. If I go to some house and says, can I bring my friends? They ask, who are your friends? I say, I have four monkeys as my friend. They say, we don't want you and your monkeys. Just keep distance from your house. Because people don't, they want to be in an elite category. If you are, whatever level you want to have friendship at that levels, elite people and all. They don't want to keep somebody like this. But Lord Ram didn't mind having monkeys and taking them to fight an army of monkeys to fight whom? To fight Rakshasas who have so much sophisticated weapons. And Lord Ram didn't mind. He said, no problem. Let them have sophisticated weapons. I'll take some monkeys, not even human beings. It's like below 1 degree level only. He's taking some monkeys who are holding some rocks and sticks and says, okay, let us fight. And he became the so he didn't had any ego problem that how can I associate with such low level creatures? No, that is why he is Supreme Lord. No, nobody can do it. So here also we see that demigods are not ready to come, but Lord is ready to come. Can't associate with sinful, but Lord will accept. So this proves that he is his mother, father, everything is original because he does not see the body part. He sees the soul only. So that is the main reason. So Lord sees soul is pure and want to come to me. That's all. Other things does not matter. It said Lord is willing to sacrifice one full Brahmanda to elevate one, to bring back one one living entity. That much Lord loves and cares for a living entity. It says Sakradapi Prapannoyam. Even once he comes and says, my dear Lord, I am yours. Lord says it takes it seriously and he'll make all arrangements. So that is the advantage. So here we see that demigod says, no, sinful, we cannot go. Lord said, no problem. If somebody comes to me, like so here, like mother, no, if the child goes outside for playing and he is just completely in some mud and so many all these dirty dirt, mud, and so many unwanted things got onto his body. When he comes home, mother she takes the child, takes him to the bathroom, get him bathed properly and cleans him. So she does not say, oh, you're dirty, don't come to my house. I don't want you. No, mother is having that love. So similarly, Supreme Lord also sees a living entity as children, as mother. And anybody comes, he says, no problem. You come to me, I'll clean you. Cheto Darpanam Arjuna. Demigods cannot do it. That's why they say, no, 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 dirty fellow, I don't want you. So, right. So the performer of sacrifice under karma kanda activities achieve the fulfillment of desires for which he worships the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he awards benedictions to worshippers' desire according to his desires. The Supreme Personality of Godhead gives all living entities conditioned within the material world full freedom to act in their own way. But to his devotees, he says that instead of working in that way, it is better to surrender unto him. For he will take charge of the devotee. This is the difference between a devotee and a fruitive actor. The fruitive actor enjoys only the fruits of his own actions, but a devotee, being under the guidance of Supreme Lord, simply advances in devotional act, service to achieve the ultimate goal of life. The significant words in this verse is Kamani, which means sense gratificatory devotee. A devotee is devoid of all kama. He is anyavilashita shunyam. He is always devoid of all desire for sense gratification. Only aim is to satisfy the sense of Supreme Lord. That is the difference between karmi and a devotee. So, Prabhupada is giving the distinction. So, for us, I told we need to have purity. So that purity is no sense gratification. Then we will become pure. So that means mind remains pure like that. Thus, for the sake of a son, King Anga, they decided to offer oblations to Lord Vishnu, who is situated in the heart of all living entities. According to sacrificial rituals, animals are sometimes sacrificed in the yajna arena. Such animals are sacrificed not to kill them but to give them new life. Such action was an experiment to observe whether the Vedic mantras were being properly pronounced. Sometimes small animals are killed in a medical laboratory to investigate therapeutic effects. In a medical clinic, the animals are not revived, but in the yajnic arena, when animals are sacrificed, they are again given life for the potency of Vedic mantras. The word Sipi Vishtha appears in this verse, means the flames of sacrifice. So then Lord Vishnu is situated in the heart, therefore Lord Vishnu is known as Sipi Vishnu. As soon as the oblations were offered and fine, a person appeared from the altar wearing a golden garland and a white dress. They were carrying a golden pot filled with rice boiled in milk. So they brought some sweet rice. The king was very liberal, and after taking permission from the priest, he took the permission in his joint palms, and after smelling it, he offered a portion to his wife. So here the word Udaradhi is significant in this connection. The wife of king Suniti was not fit to accept this benediction, yet the king was so liberal that without hesitation he offered to his wife the boiled rice in milk prasad received from the Yajna Purusha. Of course, everything is designed by the Supreme Lord, as will be explained later verses. This incident was not very favorable for the king, since the king was very liberal. The Supreme Lord, in order to increase his detachment. So, this is the main point. So, Lord, in order to increase his detachment from the material world, willed that a cruel son be born of the queen so that the king would have to leave home. So it is not completely, we cannot blame completely Suniti also. She is not completely responsible, is not fully to be blamed. Because it is the Lord's arrangement. The Lord fulfills the desires of karmis as they desire, but Lord fulfills the desires of a devotee in a different way, so that devotee might gradually come to him. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Dadami buddhiyogam tam yenama upayante. The Lord gives the devotee the opportunity to make progress further and further so that he may come back home, back to Godhead. Although Queen had no sons, after eating the food, which had the power to produce a male child, she became pregnant by her husband, and due course of time she gave birth to a son. After 10 kinds of purificatory process, one is Pumsavana, in which the wife is offered some prasada or remnants of food offered to Lord Vishnu so that after sexual intercourse with her husband, she may conceive a child. So this is also some great science. We will not go details into all these things. The boy was born practically in the dynasty of irreligion. sorry, partially in the dynasty of religion. His grandfather was death personified, and boy grew up as his follower. He became greatly religious person. So here what happened is generally the boy takes the qualities which are from the mother side, and that's why he got the qualities of his grandfather. Sometimes uncle, grandfather, that paternal maternal grandfather's qualities will come like that. So Prabhupada is going to write this. The child's mother, Suniti, was the daughter of death personified. Generally, the daughter receives the qualification of her father and son acquires those of mother. So according to the axiomatic truth that things equal to the same are equal to one another, the child born of King Anga became the follower of his maternal grandfather. According to Smriti Shastra, a child generally follows the principle of his maternal uncle's house. Nara, na, Nana Bhotalu Karma means that the child generally follows the qualities of maternal family. If the maternal family is very corrupt or sinful, the child, even though born of a good father, becomes a victim of maternal family. According to Vedic civilization, therefore, before the marriage take place, an account is taken on both boys and girls' families. If according to astrological calculation, the combination perfect, then marriage takes place. Sometimes, however, there is a mistake and family life becomes frustrated. Prabhupada also had that he wanted to marry again. Prabhupada's father said, no, 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 let it be, it is good for you. In future, you can get detachment. It appears King Anga did not get a very good wife, Suniti, because the devotee becomes detached from his wife and home and makes progress get a very good wife in Suniti because she was the daughter of that personified. So this is that is what happened to Prabhupada also. Sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotees so that in devotional life, it appears that by the arrangement of Supreme Personality of God, King Ganga, although a pious devotee, got an unfortunate wife like Suniti, and later on the bad child like Vena. But the result was that he got complete freedom from the enlightenment of family life and life left home to go back to God. So ultimately, it's Lord's mercy if we get any situation. So, Lord's special mercy to Anga. Okay, thank you, Leonish. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. Karantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.